Well, we're at
Okay.
7, so.
I got 7, so it's going to call the meeting to order. Number 1, I guess we've got a quorum here to start the meeting. We're going to do that. First item on the meeting, the public audience. We have no public audience, but for the record, show there is no public audience. Number 2, minutes of the January 6th meeting. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay, a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussions? Any renovations, any additions? Any comments to make? None, hearing none. So all in favor, then say by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. So that takes care of the minutes. Okay, moving on to our next item. Jackie, you have a minute to say hello.
Hi, Mr. Chairman. I have a reminder. Monday, February 8th, the Board of Selectmen are doing a special meeting for the Facilities Master Plan. That's at 5 p.m. So anyone that's interested.
I was invited, Jackie, by Mr. Roy, but I saw it on something saying I was confirmed to be on, but I didn't get the message as to how to sign on to it.
Okay, I'll reach out to Maria and we'll get you on.
I thought we were supposed to get it, and Jess said that they haven't, some haven't yet.
Yeah, I didn't know whether it was confirmed yet, Jackie. I know they were still talking about it, so.
Okay.
And anybody else could watch it on SCTV. Certainly it'll be on there
Okay, good.
Excellent.
if they want to listen in.
Good. Anything else, Jackie?
That was it.
That's it? Oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, hang in there. If you can speak up when you want to, we got you here.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one on our agenda would be the Architect's Monthly Report, and that has to be Jennifer sitting there quietly.
Yeah, that's
Hi,
me.
Jen.
Thank you. Hi. Okay, this past month, we've reviewed 6 COPs. These change order proposals are not impacting the GMP, not increasing the GMP. We'll go over that with Downs in a bit. We've also, and those are all acceptable to us after reviewing the pricing. And in some cases, they were allowances that we'll go over. We also reviewed the application for payment this past month. And at the time of my report, I was still reviewing that. But my review is complete and we have accepted it and signed that. I've issued also the change order proposal log just to update you on that. You get one every month. We've been on site to back check some punch list items and close some out. So that's been some positive direction to closing this project out. We do have some items that are left to be completed. And down to go over those. And for furniture, we are all set with that. So in your packet, there are, eventually you'll get to some invoices that we are recommending approval of. That would close out all of the furniture work. Everything's been delivered, set up. All punch list items have been taken care of, and there's just a little bit of balance left. And all in all, it's still under the budget that we went to the state with,
Right.
got approved.
Right.
And that's it.
Okay. Any questions, additions? Hearing none? Okay, we'll move on to the next item. Next item is a Collier report. Mr. Romo, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As Jennifer noted, the application we've gone through, so you'll see on my report that would be, at the time we didn't have it, but we've gone through, reviewed it, had some discussions and resolved everything. And the only thing I'd add is just that there is going to be ongoing work coming up in February 15th and 16th. And that's probably the most significant items at this point.
What is that going to be? No?
I'm sorry?
Do you know what it's going to be?
Yeah, there's punch list items. The big things are hardware and then some door changes that are occurring, along with hopefully Steve reported earlier today that the acoustic panels for those 3 classrooms were supposed to ship today. So hopefully we'll hear in the next day or two that they're on the road and going to be delivered. So those would be the big things. Okay. And there's some small floor and painting items. But
yep. Okay,
major.
one of the items you have on your report, you have review and comment of state change orders issued by, what state change orders have been issued?
We are up to state change order number 6 at this point, that has gone to the state, and 7 is in process at this point.
Drawer under the leaf.
Well, I'm sorry?
So state change order number 6 has been issued, and number 7 is in process. What that is it's for the
Yeah, but can you tell us
reimbursement
what
process.
Can you tell us what they were?
They're just a roll-up of the actual change orders that were approved.
Oh, I got
It's how the town goes forward to get reimbursement from the state. It's just
Gotcha.
part of the
Okay.
process.
Yeah, these are ones that we process first, and they go to the state for approval to get the state's share of the money. Okay.
Yes.
Just to
Yes.
clarify, so everybody knows what we're talking about, is it's because it said review and comment and state changes. Didn't know if they're their changes, our changes, whose changes. So, okay, now I understand what they are. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Any other questions of Colliers? Okay, do you see any problems with us finishing on this time here, they keep saying?
No, we talked some today about that, and Steve and Garrett are pushing forward. And I think the biggest thing is going to be come the springtime. There's just some landscaping items that are going
Right.
to, weather dependent. So hopefully April.
They can't move the ground around under the snow?
No.
Oh, geez.
We won't get germination of seed. I'm sure we could spread it, but nothing's going to happen.
Okay. All right. Any other items? Okay, anybody else have a question? I'm sorry?
No, nothing else.
Anybody have any questions?
No.
Okay, let's move on to the big factor of the town, and that is our construction manager's update and report. Go through all that. Steve, welcome
Well, it's
aboard.
quite an intro, Dick. Thank you. Hello, everybody. You should have my paperwork from the packet today for the
Paperwork.
summation as the project financial summary. You can let me know if you have any questions there, but you're seeing the pending and approximate change orders go down. We're in a negative now as we're now processing more and more of the allowance givebacks
Right.
to the owner to reduce those allowances to zeros from the trade subcontractors. So we have another one to look at tonight, and our goal is to have them all complete for the next meeting,
Okay.
and the contingency reconciled as well. So at the next meeting, all givebacks are complete. And I don't think there should be any ads to go at the next meeting, as we are really trying to close the project out from a physical standpoint, but paperwork wise as well. So
Let's go to item B.
item B, the schedule. So we are working off some more punch list items, and the work to start. Those are the acoustical panels in the 3 classrooms, as Ken mentioned. They shipped today, so we plan on doing that work on the 15th and 16th when the school is not in session in those 3 classrooms to get that done. And that's change order work, as you know.
These change orders are coming from where? They're coming from O'Brien and that group?
Well, this COP 307 for this came from the principal a while ago, and you approved it, of course, a couple meetings ago, and then we got the material ordered. So this is already accounted for. Moving on to item 2 on that page, COP. Go
Work in
ahead.
process.
COP 3. I'm sorry.
The work in process.
That's just the punch list work that we're working off.
Is there a separate listing of a punch list?
Yes.
Is that in this pile? I couldn't see it anywhere.
No, it's not in the packet.
I didn't think so.
No, we can get that to everybody through Carol if you'd like to see it.
I don't know. I'm opening it up to Lucian, John, Ryan. You folks want to see that?
Steve, maybe you can explain how many items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I'm going on memory from today. There's 2 lists, actually. Jennifer creates an observation report each time she's out there, and if she discovers items or if Annie brings them to attention, or Ken, they go on there. Then there's the actual punch list that we use with the trades, and I believe there's 17 items between the 2 lists. Everything from some missing cove base, or there's 2 door handles at need to be replaced with what's called for. The contractor installed the wrong door lock set for him. That's probably the biggest issue of all the issues left. But most of them are minor in nature, but they need to be done. You know, they're aesthetic and they need to be done and signed off. So our goal is to try to get them all done that week of the holiday week for the school, and then get Jennifer and Ken and Andy out there one last time to go through and
I was just curious if there were big items or if there were small, which you said are smaller items.
I don't think there's any big items.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to know, basically.
Sure.
All right, go on to number 3.
So that's the COP 307 acoustical panel work. So that'll take place that Monday and Tuesday as well. Those panels ship today. So we should see those towards the end of next week. So we'll get that off of the way. That was obviously some change order work.
Okay.
Moving on to change order proposals in item 2 there.
You know, if we could go on skip the change orders and come back to that, because there are a whole
Sure.
pile of them. Let's move on first to the other page. You got magnitude and requisition approval, so on and so forth.
Okay. So besides
Item is
the
number 5, basically, is what I'm looking at.
number 5.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's no update or delivery issues due to COVID at this time. The second bullet there, we do have those 2 outstanding claims from the mechanical contractor.
Right. That's what I'm curious about. That's the one.
So we put them on notice to reduce those claims and sign our zero cost change order, waiving, any future claim. And I've had several conversations with them, the latest actually this afternoon. So they are reviewing that with their counsel. I can't tell you how it's going to come out, but we with our lawyer have crafted a letter. I think Jeff shared it with you last month, and gave them the basis why their claim is frivolous and so forth.
Okay. Do you see any problem there? Or is that coming to an end?
Well, I'm hopeful it'll be settled out this month. So next meeting we can report it's closed.
Good. Okay. All right. Now let's go then. I guess before we go to the CPOs, are there any questions of Don's at this point from anyone? Lucian.
I have a couple of questions, Steve, if I may.
Yes.
So I assume everything is operating. Did the owner get training on all the equipment?
Yes, I think we have one additional training we're doing in the auditorium for the power has gone out recently. I'm going to say probably a month ago, and the lighting doesn't come up out of the power outage.
Talk about that, yeah.
And there's some manual moves to make to get it back on. And we've got instructions for that. So we've instructed the contractor to come back out and work with Scott and Jason to go through that procedure in case it happens in the future. And I believe we have a mini blind training session coming up next week as well.
Lucian, go ahead, finish off.
HVAC equipment, you have the dust collector, I believe, and stuff like that. They got training, O&Ms.
Yep. So we've got training on all MEP items where it was called for and they were recorded. My APM is now putting together the package for Jennifer to review for the O&Ms and as-built. We probably have 90% of it. And so the design team will check that out, make sure they're okay, and then we'll submit it to the school, hard copy and thumb drive.
Thank you.
And I'm sure for the town as well.
Good. Any other questions, comments? All right, hearing none, let's move on to the change order proposals, starting with number 308.
Yep. So these are 2 doors into the courtyard. Originally, they had a roller blind on them, and Jennifer may want to chime in, but when the door is open 90 degrees, it bangs into the wall behind the door and causes damage to the door. So we've worked and looked long and hard for some solutions for this. It is important for the school in a lockdown situation to be able to have that a blind on there and some window film on the bottom light, just as in any classroom, so they can shut the door and lock it and not have an outsider be able to peer in. So we've switched the blind over to a micro blind, which is much thinner in its operation, and putting some window film on the bottom half. And this should satisfy the issue.
Has that been clarified by everybody at the school? Mr. O'Brien, is that something you're okay with?
Yeah, Dick, we discussed that with the principal, Scott Baker, and that's the model that he would really like to go with.
Okay. Just want to make sure we're all in the same ballpark. Okay, so that one, 308 goes through at no cost to the town?
Correct. We just pulled it out of the CM contingency.
Okay. All right, the next one is 317.
Yep. So I will count on Jennifer to offer some expertise in this, but the bottom line is, if you're on the stage with the lectern, the cabling that feeds the lectern may end up being a tripping hazard depending on what the event is that you're hosting. So this adds another location off to the side of the stage to plug that in and give the school better options, a couple different locations to set that up depending on what their event is, if they have people coming up on stage or not.
Correct. I don't really have anything to add, but I will address any questions. We did speak about it last meeting. I don't know if all the attendees are the same.
No.
But unfortunately, even after a thorough review of the design documents during design with the client and sharing everything, we still, I guess, hadn't anticipated, no one picked up on the fact that if they decide to use it in a certain way, the cords connecting to the front panel of the stage would be an issue for them. So this is a correction.
Any committee members, questions, comments? Okay, this again is no charge to the town as well, is that correct?
Correct. It's through the CM contingency.
Okay, just want to get on the record, there's no charge. Okay, the next item is 320.
Yep. This is for some additional painting through the allowance. The bulk of it was in the existing fax wing. There was some some glazed block in that main corridor that received paint, and it called for an epoxy paint on there, which is the right application, but 2 coats still didn't stop it from bleeding through, so we went back and added a 3rd coat in there to dress it up, and that's no cost, as it's through his allowance with the painter.
Any comments, questions? Hearing none. Okay, next item is 321.
Yeah, this is a back charge to the painter from the sprinkler subcontractor. The painter, throughout the phasing of the project, got paint on 92 sprinkler heads. And through the town's inspections that Andy performed, through the regular yearly inspections, this is when this came out. So the sprinkler guy, we had him go in and on an off school day and change out all the heads. It took 2 days, and it's a valuable lesson for the painter.
Boy, I guess so. I can't believe that happened. We talked about that before. That's about $5,000 it cost them.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. You just get a little paint on that, and you're not allowed to clean it. It's a UL issue. So,
Surprise. Yep.
Yeah.
Any comments, questions? This again is no cost to the town.
Correct. It's just
Okay.
switching funds between 2 trades.
Right. Okay. Next item is 322.
Miscellaneous flooring repairs. There were a couple repairs to do it on site. Some tile that got broken at an existing clean out that we put a new cover on, and some carpet tile at a new bathroom that got cut in to one of the corridors. So that's no cost, as well as it's added.
That's not marked on here, no cost. It's blank.
What's that, Dick?
Change order is nothing in there, blank. That's a 0, right?
That's a 0, yes.
Okay, but it wasn't on there, so we'll fill it in that that's 0 cost
My
to the
copy
town.
has it in there, in scope 35627.
322. It says 356.27 up in town. The cost of the allowance expenditure is 356.27. And
Correct.
then attachments, then it says Barrow and Conover, PCO 18. Then it says description, vendor comments, nothing. And then it says cost of the change order of this proposal, nothing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. Okay.
All right, so that's no allowance, so, okay?
Yep.
Okay, and the last one is change order 323.
That's the site work allowance, reconciliation for the site work subcontractor. So this is a credit give back of the 22,056.57 to the town.
27,000.
Correct.
I thought you said 22, I'm sorry.
No, 2756.57.
Okay, that's coming back to the town.
Correct.
Okay, any comments? No comments, okay. I'll accept that one too, okay. And I guess that covers us for change orders, right?
Yes.
Okay, I know you have a bill, we'll get that when we pay our bills, but as right now, are there any other comments from Downs? Are there any questions from Downs, from any of the people on the committee? Hearing none?
How about item number 3, the water infiltration? So that's $216,000.
Yeah, those are previous COPs that you've approved due to the water damage in there. The town did make a claim to our insurance company.
Right.
And they've clarified just in the last day, after reviewing the claim and the contract and so forth, that it does fall under your builder's risk policy. And I believe Jeff has passed that on to council for review.
Yes, both town staff and Kerma, who's our insurance broker, is reviewing the determination and following up. So it's we need a little bit more time to evaluate it.
That amount is what, $42,000? That's the
Now,
town
the
is
whole
looking at?
amount there in that top line is 216,000.
That's the total, but
Correct.
But just that one section of the town insurance company, it's only taking part of that, right?
There's actually 2 separate claims, Dick. These numbers are just Downs's approximation of what those costs are. Our numbers are a little different, but both claims are over $100,000.
That's what I thought.
And again, we have a policy, a builder's risk policy for anything with a deductible of $100,000.
Right.
So it's a matter of determining who's going to pay for the deductible or not. And we're assuming the builder's risk policy is going to pick up everything over $100,000
Okay.
with potentially some discounts for
Yeah, so
betterments
Yeah, so it's $100,000 deductible per claim, or you can't combine them?
per claim.
Per claim.
Yeah.
When do you think we'll have a response to the answer to that, Jeff?
Well, maybe on the next blue moon. It's taken this long to get travelers to respond to our claim from June. So, yeah, it's been a long slog, honestly. So I really can't tell you when.
Okay, that's one of the items that we still have to look at. So as long as everybody's aware of that. Lucian, does that answer your question?
Yep, thank you.
All right, moving on then. I guess we're now at any other questions of our contractors? Hearing none, we'll move on to our payments. Okay, so we have payment application number 22 from Downs in the amount of $309,353.28. $309,353.28. Do I hear a motion?
Yes, so moved.
Second? Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Opposed? So carried. Okay, you got paid, Jeff. Steve, you're all set. Okay, the next item is Castle Booze, and I'm a little confused here, Jennifer. Maybe you can help me out. I have an invoice that's called KBA 16018.04. This basically is in the furniture and furnishings. This is not your bill, it's their bill. Is that correct? We got to pay them $24,098.57.
Yes, that's the balance of all furniture that would close out all of the outstanding invoices that we were holding on to for
Okay.
furniture.
And all the Robert Lloyd invoices are attached to that.
Right.
Okay. All right. Can we have a motion to approve that?
Moved.
So move. Second?
Second.
Second. Any comments, additions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay. Now, Castle, do we have another bill from you, from your services at this point?
I believe that you do have one. I didn't send it over, but I think our my front office did although I'm not seeing it in here.
I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, I don't
Which
think
is-
it got in the
okay.
package. I don't know why, but it's not in the package.
I think maybe she sent it over late, and I think it might have been something around $600 or something. We're stretching out the last bit of our closeout. We know we're not 100%, and there's still some work to be done, but we're just like stretching out this last payment.
Okay. All right.
So we'll talk about it next meeting.
Yeah. Okay. That's not a big deal. Okay.
Right.
And again, the Robert Lloyd invoices were attached to this one we just passed, so that takes care of that.
Right.
Are there any other questions regarding the junior high school? Anyone? No comments? No questions? Okay, Jennifer and Steve, I guess you can move along if you wish to, because we move on.
Okay.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
hey,
you.
Dick, I would like to just let everybody know, it's not a big deal, but the Downs gifted a sign to the school for their auditorium at the front entrance to the auditorium. So that'll be installed later this week.
What kind of sign?
It's a letter sign, if you will, similar to the media center, over the doors that you enter into the auditorium. And there wasn't one there. We asked Scott, what could you use, and to just try to leave something behind from down. So that'll be installed this week. Someday we'll do when things are in better condition out there, a little photo op, and we'll let you know what's going on. But just want to let everybody know that's happening coming up.
In
as well.
regards to signs, we've talked to Jennifer about this before. All our town projects have a sign listing the town board of selectmen, the public building committee, and so on and so forth. The project sign, it's called, I guess. Every one of our projects have one, and we have not seen one for this school. We've asked about 3 or 4 times now, haven't we?
Yes, I believe you have one now.
We do
It
have
was-
one. Where
I'm
is it?
pretty sure Jeff might know more. It was supposed to be installed. It was coordinated to be installed in the front entrance in the small lobby near the administration.
We never saw a copy of it. We never got a page of it. Jeff, do you have that?
No, I didn't approve it. I'm not sure. I think the Board of Ed took care of it. And I've never physically seen the sign or the
I
plaque.
haven't either.
Yeah,
I haven't either, but the
comes from the
district was dealing with
comes
it.
From the building committee that approves that and pays for it and makes sure it's right.
It wasn't a part of the project. It was outside of the project scope completely because as a soft cost, signage was not.
I talked to your boss on that quite a while ago, to Brian, and he said they were going to take care of it, and we were supposed to
We
see
took
it.
care of the design. Yes, we did.
Yeah,
We
we're
helped
supposed
with
to
the
see it.
design for that, even though it wasn't part of our scope, and that's fine.
Yeah,
It was
right.
not a big deal. So then we hooked up the district with the vendor that they're familiar with using, and it's done other signage in the building. So the Board of Ed, or I don't know exactly, I don't know if it was just Carol or somebody else, but they were dealing directly with the vendor to purchase the sign because this was a soft cost.
Mr. O'Brien, Andrew, can you get a copy of that sign for us for our next meeting? Photo?
Yeah, I'll follow up. I'll follow up and make sure I can get a hold of that.
Okay, would appreciate it. Okay.
It's installed already, correct?
I thought it was, but I have not actually.
That's all right. Let's see what it looks like. If there's a problem, we'll
Okay.
go from there. But let's
Sure.
take a look at it because we never saw it, and that's part of our project. Yes, Rich. We
Rich,
can't
you're
hear you. You don't have
muted.
your speaker on.
You're on mute.
Your speaker's not on.
No.
There you go.
All right. I just wanted to say thank you to Stephen and Downs for donating a sign at the auditorium. I didn't want to go by without saying something. So thank you.
No, you're welcome. Thank you.
That was part of the ending here. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
You saved me. Good. Any other comments from anyone? Hearing none, let's move on. Okay, Steve and Jennifer, you're all set to run out if you want to run out on this.
Yeah, have a good night, everyone.
Thank you. You too.
Bye, Steve.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Moving on. Don't sign off, everybody. We got our next item on it is our high school. Is Al Jakunski aboard here?
Al is not on the call yet. He did say he would be on the call, and I don't know exactly what time. I thought he said 7:45. So
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
I thought I saw that too.
yeah. So I mean, if you don't, I could give you a quick update on where we are. There hasn't been a lot of changes since the last meeting.
go ahead.
We did draft a contract up. The town attorney did review it.
Did
we
or did
did.
not do it?
He did review it. We did, just for your knowledge, also include a clause in there for COVID delays, so
Oh,
that we wouldn't run into that on this project.
super.
And the project was actually, the contract was finalized today, and it was forwarded on to the contractor for execution.
And
so-
that is Goodwin Roofing?
That is, it's good something.
Good something, good.
Trying to recall off the top of my head.
Yeah, I
Jason,
can't-
do you recall?
I don't recall off the top of my head either, but I think it was.
Hang on a second. I can look it up.
Goodwin, but it's not Goodwin, it's something else.
I can look it up.
No problem, no problem. We got, right here, I'll tell you about it in a second here.
I'm just drawing a blank here. It's Greenwood Roof, Greenwood
There you go, Greenwood Roofing.
Hey, Jeff,
Industries.
Jeff, could I ask you a
Yep.
question?
Sure can.
The clause for COVID, was it in the spec when they bid it?
It wasn't. No, it was something that was introduced later. We tried to get it in as part of the bid, but we didn't get enough.
Just because they could, have a problem with it.
They could. It's force majeure at the end of the day, is how it's titled. But the description, it was customized.
Right.
So I gotta trust the attorney that it was done appropriately.
Yeah, well, I'll see what they come back with.
Yeah.
Come back with that one, probably, most.
I mean, Greenwood was one of the contractors on Henry James, and they did not put a claim in for it.
Oh no, I understand that, but you don't know what the future holds. I mean, it's
True. With this project, because we're way ahead of the actual construction phase, per se, in that it's summer work, that
Right.
gives us a little more, I think, you know what I mean, a little more time and flexibility to,
Flexibility, yeah.
I guess, for him to get the material.
right. Right.
So hopefully it's not an issue.
Right. Yeah, they're gonna stock them. I think they're gonna order the material early and get it on site and put it on site, I heard? Or are they gonna stock it?
They're going to warehouse it.
They're
We're
gonna
going to, take document, and we're going to get insurance on that material,
Okay,
and then we'll pay them for material stored on site.
gotcha. Okay, that's the update. So we'll wait for Al. Anybody have any questions of Jeff at that point on that project? All right, any old business? Okay, new business, of course, is our next meeting. Our next meeting would be scheduled for March 1st, wow, March 1 at 7, or do you want to do 6? Any comments, people? Hearing none?
Is that a Wednesday or is that a?
That's a Monday. The first Monday of the month is our normal meeting nights.
Okay.
Can we do it that night?
Yeah, we're probably going to have to move it. Dick, if COVID continues. I don't know if you want to look at the next 2 or 3 months and actually reschedule now, or do it month to month.
I think we should probably want to do it month to month because we don't know what's going on every month. But March 1, of course, is the first one. The first Wednesday of that month is March 3rd. You want to make it March 3rd instead of the 1st?
It sounds like we're going to end up changing it anyway, so might as well do it now.
Jeff,
I think that works. It's been, there's no other meetings generally on Wednesdays in town hall at 7 o'clock. So,
All right.
yeah, I think it's a good idea. And I think if it's working for everybody,
Does March
it
3rd
works
look okay?
for me.
Does Wednesday look okay for everybody?
Yes.
Let's go to the 3rd.
Okay,
Okay.
so we're gonna move our next meeting to March 3rd. You want to keep it at 7 or you want to start at 6?
7.
7,
7
please.
is fine, yeah.
Okay, 7 is fine. Okay, so we all approve that our next meeting will be March 3rd at 7 p.m. on Zoom as usual. And we go
Yes.
from there. And Al Jakunski, where are you?
Yeah, he had another meeting, so it might have run over. That's why he asked to be put second on the agenda.
Yeah. Do you know what he might have to report, Jeff? Is there anything that we should be sitting waiting for, or is it just
No, I honestly don't think there's anything additional to report from Al on the project.
I think what you said is giving us enough for our minutes at this point and have him attend. We're not doing anything basically other than signing the contract, and that's not signed yet, so he really has nothing to report.
No, I mean, I could touch base with him, and just if he has anything additional, I can send an email out to you folks to bring
Okay.
you up to date.
Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Any other business that you want to talk about? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So move. Second?
Second.
Everyone in favor of saying good night and have a nice night?
That's a fast meeting.
Good night.
again.
Have a nice night.
Have a nice night. Thank you very
Good
much.
night, everybody.
Nice evening.
Good night, everyone.
Night,
Good night.
night.
Sage.